We all wonder how the top drivers in the world post insane lap times that they do in the time trials and are simply unbeatable in races on Gran Turismo 7. A large part of it is how they get into and out of corners so quickly, which is such a simple but critical part of racing that the best have absolutely mastered. And how they do it is actually easier than you think to learn, once of course you understand it. I'm talking about a technique called trail braking, because confusingly how you brake actually makes you faster. So what is trail braking? Let me explain. The best way to do this is to firstly look how the majority of us brake when approaching a corner, which is not trail braking. You hit your brake markers, slow down, get off the brake, then turn, wait, then accelerate away, which actually makes perfect sense, right? You stop, you turn, you go. Well, we're all wrong. If your braking is already done by the time you start turning, then you need to start learning this. You hit the initial braking marker, much the same as before, but this is where things change. As you approach the corner, you gradually release the brakes until you reach the apex of the corner, then accelerate away immediately. What you just saw there was trail braking, which is called trail braking because you gradually release or trail off the brake pressure as you enter a turn. Here is an example showing the time loss between me and someone who doesn't trail brake in real time. So we're here at Sardinia looking at a driver whose lap was 2 seconds slower than mine. The quickest way through turn 1 here is to trail brake. As we arrive, he slams on the anchors but then gets off the brake too early, meaning he carries too much speed and even needs to get on the brakes a second time to get it slowed down. Doing this at every corner costs you serious time at any racetrack. We're going to compare side by side now with my lap, which is 2 seconds faster, as I say, than the lap we've just seen. But I'm still over 1 second slower than the fastest driver in the world, which we'll get to in a moment. We brake at similar points, but as you'll see here that I'm still on the brakes as he starts getting off them. As a result, he goes deep and we are back on the throttle and powering out of the corner much earlier. Now we have the ultimate comparison. Both of us against the fastest driver in the world here. The difference here is all in the braking. Looking at myself, my trail braking isn't perfect, and just like the first lap, although to a lesser extent, I carry a little too much speed in and miss the apex ever so slightly, costing me speed and therefore time on the exit. If you multiply this by 10 corners, that is the difference between a 37, a 38 and as much as a 1 minute 41 here. So what is actually happening with the car when you trail brake to make this technique so much quicker? As you approach any corner, the aim is to get in and get out of it as quickly as possible. You brake, you hit the apex and then you accelerate. The higher average speed you carry through the corner, the quicker you are going, and ultimately the lower your lap time is going to be. In a perfect world, as you approach the corner and you brake, your front tyres will get squashed into the track surface, giving you more front grip while simultaneously lifting the rears slightly, giving them less grip, allowing you to slide a little into the corner and take it faster. Think of it like a seesaw. The fronts get pushed down and simultaneously at the other end, the rears get lifted up. This is the key the fastest drivers use to aid rotation in a corner. But we don't live in a perfect world, do we? Tyres can only do so much, so if you ask them during the initial braking phase to decelerate the car at 100% of their ability, and then you ask them to turn as well, you ask too much of them. The grip will break and you will find yourself sliding and missing the apex, either understeering or oversteering, or even a combination of both. This is why you trail brake. As you go through the braking phase, you release the brakes to allow for more turning ability. As you reach the corner, you need less and less braking and more turning. So top drivers adopt a style to maximise this effect. It's been pretty complicated so far. Even I struggled with all of this at first, and some say I still do. So I have a really good and super simple analogy that I use for this, which I'll talk you through on track, in the car, live at the end, and make all of this easy peasy to remember. Quick one, if this video helps you, could you please help me and hit that subscribe button? Less than half of people out there are actually subscribed to watch the content, so if you could help me get there and get that number up, I'd really appreciate it. The analogy that made most sense to me, and the way I have always remembered it ever since, is known as string theory. This theory constantly reminds me that I need to basically move my wheel and my brake pedal in sync. The more I steer, the more I release the brakes. If I try to do both, then it's going to be game over. Imagine a string tied from your big toe on your braking foot to the centre of the bottom of the steering wheel. As you turn the wheel, the string pulls your foot up off the brake. But this so far has just been a high level blanket one size fits all foundation type aid to help you. The trail braking technique differs based on the type of corner you're facing. So I'm going to load up a few different corners at familiar tracks from around the world to explain how to put this into practice. If you're someone wanting to improve your driver rating, this will massively help you get faster and help you achieve your goals. I promise. Luckily for us though, Gran Turismo has a ready-made safe space which is absolutely perfect as a tool for helping us perfect this. This is Circuit Experience, and I have selected the 3 best missions I think for trail braking practice. Let's start with the easiest first and then progress onto the hardest, which I think if you can nail, you will have trail braking down and will have changed the way you drive, literally forever. Welcome to Interlagos Turn 1. This is a nice one. High speed, but it's cambered. And you've got to use lots of trail braking. So find our braking point here. Watch my feet. I'm going to lift off the brake. I'm braking right into the corner here. I'm just going to change up a gear. Keep it nice and tight here. Careful because we're on the hards. Then it's just a straight race to the line. 23.2 to beat. 1, 2, 22.7. Gold. Now, let's roll back and show you the details here. As we approach this slow off camber corner from high speed, we need to get the car slowed right down. So we're braking hard in a straight line, maximising the car's ability to slow the car down like we spoke earlier on. Then here, we begin to trail off the brakes and turn into the corner. I'm matching my release of the brake to the turn in to keep the car balanced and nail the corner. Right, with Interlagos done, let's move on to something a little more challenging. Spa. Now we're going to do sector 3 here, which as you can see has got a few more corners than the last one we've just done, which is going to give us more time to talk, but also critically more time to practice. Welcome to sector 3 at Spa, which I think is a good place to come and hone your trail braking skills, because we're going to have 3 opportunities here and it's happening already. Look how far we were braking into that corner, trail braking there. As I was saying, there were 3 opportunities here in just one challenge, and they're all very, very different. Here's number 2 now, down into the S's, braking almost to the apex there. Keep it tight. Outbroke myself a little bit there, asked too much of the tyres. Now we've got one more opportunity. Go. Need to be careful through here because we're on hard sides, so lift slightly, make sure you hit the apex, and then it's a go, go, go. Run to the line. What's it going to be? A 46.5 to get gold. 45.723. Oh. Now let me show you one of these again. As we head into La Fagna here, as this is a long corner, I have to trail the brakes longer to keep the car stable. Watch this brake trace. Just look how long I'm trailing into this corner at roughly 50% before releasing the brake fully. So we've done Interlagos, then things got a little bit harder with Spa, and now it's time to go to the most difficult, I think, corner that involves trail braking on the entire game, and that's here at Daytona. Welcome to Daytona, specifically turn 1 at Daytona. This is going to be tough. We need to beat a 33 dead. It's difficult because we're coming off from basically top speed on the banking. Trail braking to turn number 1. Then we've got another hairpin, but the other way where we need to trail brake at the International Horseshoe. So slam on the anchors here. The car wants to go straight on. Get over to the left. Brake. Lift off. Get on the power. Careful, he wants to kill me. Race to the line. 33 dead to beat. We've done it at 32.514. Oh, if you can master that. And all of these actually, Interlagos, Spa and Daytona, you will have mastered trail braking. If you've got time for one more, here is another video I did sharing 5 simple tips that not many people know about, which will make it much easier for you to get up to A+ on GT7. Thanks so much as always for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.